ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay lay lay, ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay lay lay, ya la 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 lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay lay lay, ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay lay lay, ya lay la lay 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 lay, ya lay la lay lay lay. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Isn't it wonderful when we all gather together, family and friends, those who have been long-time members of our Temple Bethel family, guests who are here to celebrate Grant and Marla receiving the Zebulun Award, to come together in time to join celebration, to celebrate Shabbat together, to be with one another, to share this time together. And it's great to see so many folks here tonight to fill this sanctuary on the Shabbat. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
And if any of Grant or Marla's friends are watching on our live stream, Shabbat Shalom to you as well. I'm not going to play to the camera, though. I'm going to play to you guys so they can all watch. So just, I know we have a lot of visitors here tonight, so just a quick note that the prayer book in front of you is called Mishpat Tefillah, and just we'll be using that tonight. For those who have been coming regularly over the last several months, we're going to keep the screens up. No screens. All books today, okay? There you go. Right? Because if we had the screens down or had any technical stuff, we'd have to ask Grant to do it, and that really wasn't going to be fair.
So true.
Do you have any idea what it was? So, yeah, Grant, all we asked Grant to do tonight was to show up and say a couple of words. So.
Wow.
So again, Mazel Tov Grant, Mazel Tov Marla, and Mazel Tov to all of our previous Zebulun recipients who are here tonight to help celebrate with them as well. As we continue our service on page 121, it's a pleasure to invite Zarika Sorkin and Barbara Brickman to come and kindle the Sabbath lights. Oh, sorry.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. להדליק נר של שבת. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Don't play. On page 123, I invite you to stand if you are able as we sing together Kiddush, the blessing over the wine. The sweetness of this Shabbat wine reminding us of the sweetness of tonight and of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו. זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Before we continue, and while you're still standing, I invite you just to turn to the people in front of you, behind you, next to you. Wish your neighbor Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, very nice, yeah. Remember 2 years. I invite you to take your seats. How good and pleasant it is when brothers and sisters dwell together. These words from Psalm 133, known as Hine Ma Tov, you can find them on page 128, page 128 in your prayer book.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
On page 131, we sing a new song unto God, Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash.
Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש. I will sing unto God a new song.
400 years ago, a Kabbalist, and a sage, and a poet who lived in Sfat in the northern part of Israel named Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz was so inspired by the beauty of what he saw every Friday when he would go out and welcome in Shabbat. He likened Shabbat to a bride coming into our midst. So these words of Lecha Dodi that we know so well are akin to welcoming a bride right here into our congregation. So I invite you to please turn to page 138. We'll sing these words of welcome. Beloved, come meet the bride. Beloved, come greet Shabbat. We sing together verses 1, 2, 5. And at verse 9, we'll stand and face the door and symbolically welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst.
Lecha Dodi likrat galos b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כמו אולי עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
The Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
The opening psalms and melodies of Kabbalat Shabbat help us to get into that prayerful spirit, which I think we're now in as our lungs are open and our bodies are awakened. So we make this transition into the Ma'ariv of the evening part of our service on page 144. Page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ולמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומך ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמך מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיא, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, וידבר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, לשמי דקדושה בריחו לילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
The back of the service handout, and on page 146 as well.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Let's join together on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And on page 151, a prayer for the gift of Torah given to us with God's love. Together, as you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 154.
ואהבת אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai ya lai la lai lai ai lai ya la lai lai la lai lai ya la 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 lai. ונאמר כי בד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. As we prepare to sing Hashkivenu, our nighttime prayer, We invite God's sheltering and protective presence to envelop us with love and kindness. As you sing these words together on the back of the service handout, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ushmor tzedkeinu uvoeinu Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ushmor tzedkeinu uvoeinu Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim Baruch atah Adonai Apore sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim We continue with Vishamru on page 162. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש
The Baal Shem Tov teaches, why are we told to recite the verse, O God, open my lips and let my mouth declare your praise, before our most sacred prayer? Like banks to a river, lips form the outer edges of human speech. We pray that God may release us from those limits so that our mouths may declare God's endless praise. So as we begin to enter into this time of our most sacred prayer, the 7 blessings of the Tefillah that begin on page 164, I first invite you to stand if you are able as we enter in together. As a community, we will chant the first 3 blessings, and afterwards you'll have an opportunity to pray the words of the tradition through page 181, or simply turn inward and offer prayers from the heart. Please be seated only when your personal prayer is complete. Let's enter in together.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol Ata Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please pray silently.
Shalom b'mromav yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amecha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים
We take a moment now to offer Misha Berach L'Refuah, a prayer for all those in need of healing, healing of body, mind, or spirit. In just a moment, we will lift our voices together and sing this prayer, which you can find in the middle of page 371, if you need the words. But before we do, if you'd like to stand aloud for a moment and stand up and share aloud the name or names of those for whom you are praying the Shabbat, I invite you to do so now. Joyce Kahn. For all those named and those whose names we hold in our hearts, we pray together.
Of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all those in need. Amen.
The last words of the book of Exodus speak of the Israelites going out on their journeys, which they can do finally because the Mishkan, the tabernacle, has been built, and that will be leading them all throughout the 40 years of wandering in the desert. Every time we take the Torah scroll out of the ark and we march it around the congregation, it's as if we are recreating those 40 years of wandering. Luckily, it only takes about 4 minutes here. So as we continue with our Torah service on page 362, we prepare to take the Torah out of the ark, to march it around the congregation. And just a note that we will be inviting all of our past Zebulon recipients up for the Aliyah, for the first Aliyah. We invite you while the Torah is marching around to go get a talit if you'd like, so you can be ready to come up when we call you to the Torah. Page 362.
En kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'en kemasecha, malchutcha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai melech, Leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amoitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim, heitiv avirtzonecha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei
ירושלים, כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך אל רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדול אדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה והמתנשא לכל לראש. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. 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 ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו, תורה לעמו ישראל. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתיו. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר מירושלים. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו, תורה לעמו ישראל. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתיו. כי מציון תצא תורה, תורה אדוני לירושלים. כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
Please be seated. So in this little Zebulun booklet that we have here, you'll be able to follow along with the readings. We have 2 aliyot tonight. The first one comes from the portion, this is the double portion this week of Vayakel Pikudei. The first comes from Parashat Is it? Yeah, pick your day. They're both pick your day. Pick your day. And this is actually the anniversary, the one-year anniversary of Kaiten becoming bat mitzvah. And as we often try to do when we read Torah on the night of B'nai Mitzvah anniversary, have our students come back and chant Torah and honor us again. And so you'll be able to follow along. And then afterwards, we'll have a second Torah reading as well to conclude the book of Exodus with the traditional words of Chazak, as we will get to that in a few moments. As tonight is our service to celebrate the newest recipients or inductees into the Zebulun Hall of Fame, if you want to call that. We always invite the pastor. It's kind of like the Heisman Trophy, right? All the past Heisman Trophy winners are behind them, right? So the trophy's not as heavy, the award's not as heavy, but we'd like to have all of our Zebulun winners here on the Bima to honor us and to celebrate them for their achievements and their contributions to the life of our congregation over the last 30 or so odd years since we have been bestowing this award. So Ya'amdu la'alei ala Torah. I invite to the Torah all of the previous winners of the Zebulun Award.
Take some time.
Come over here. If you need one, take one and share. Take one and share. These might need to be on either side. It might need to be on either side. Yeah, it'd be on either side. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Either side. Let's,
Well, then you
all
got to
the
give
way.
me some
Yeah.
papers
Okay.
on this
I
side.
only have a few there.
You
So.
got to share.
All right. Either side.
It's much heavier spiritually.
Yes, that is true. Okay. No, yeah, they come up for the next one. Everyone come close. Come close.
We tested that one point. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Vayas et ha'hoshen ma'aseh hoshev k'ma'aseh ephod zahav tachelet v'argaman v'tola'at shani v'sheish mashzar rafu ahaya kaful asu et ha'hoshen zeret arko v'zeret rachbo kaful Femal uvo arba'a ture aven tur odem pitta uvareket tach hatur hasheni hatur ha'echad vehatur hasheni nofech sapir ve'achalom vehatur hashlishi leshem shavo ve'achlama V'hatur harvi tarshev shoham va'yishpe musabot mishbezot zahav b'milotam v'ha'avanim al shemot b'nei Yisrael heina shem esrei al shemotam pituche of hotam ish al shemo Lishneim asar shavet.
Obtain HaTorah. Amen. And just as Kaiten chanted so beautifully, all of these beautiful jewels that are described to help make the breastplate one of these sacred objects in the temple, all of these sacred jewels, you Zebulun winners from previous years, are the sacred jewels of our congregation as well, whose brightness and beauty and exquisiteness adds so much life to who we are as a temple. So we thank you for your past leadership, present leadership, and future leadership as well. Amen. You guys go back down. Shabbat shalom. Isn't it ever? Got it? Okay. Okay. And because we don't want to leave our most current Zebulun winners left out of the honor of being able to bless Torah, for the second Aliyah, we call to the Torah Marla Schwartz and Grant Perry. Amdu la'aleh la Torah.
There she is. Where's my Marla? Where's my Marla? Sure. Good job. Now bless.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim Venatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. ויכס הענן את אוהל מועד, וכבוד אדוני מלא את המשכן, ולא יכול משה לבוא אל אוהל מועד, כי שכן עליו הענן, וכבוד אדוני מלא את המשכן, ובהעלות הענן מעל המשכן, יישאו בני ישראל בכל מעשיהם. ואם לא יעלה הענן ולא יישאו עד יום העלותו, כי ענן אדוני על המשכן יומם ואש, תהיה לילה בו לעיני כל בית ישראל בכל מעשיהם. חזק חזק ונתחזק.
Okay, sit there. It's fun that way.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chaye Olam Nata B'tochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai
נותן התורה. Amen.
What a duo. That's right.
I invite you to please turn to page 370. Page 370, and please stand if you're able as I lift the Torah, and you can see the verses that Cantor Davidson and Caton chanted so beautifully. And look for the break in the middle of the column here, which shows the break between the book of Exodus and the book of Leviticus.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה וזאת התורה וזאת התורה אשר שם משה וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל, לבני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה, 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 וזאת התורה.
Shabbat Shalom. Now and then, when we gather to celebrate our newest Zebulun recipients, the Torah portion for the evening is just perfect. And tonight is one of those nights. Earlier today, my weekly Shabbat message shared how Grant Perry and Marla Schwartz live good, holy, and mitzvah-driven lives. They well represent here the master builder and his assistant, the two people mentioned by name who led the construction project of the tabernacle described in this week's double parashah by Vayekel Pikudei. Betzalel and Oholiav have a lot to teach us about our Zebulun recipients in particular, and about the Zebulun Award in general. The first lesson teaches that everyone counts. Who were Betzalel and Oholiav, these two men chosen by God to build the tabernacle? What made them worthy? We know more about Betzalel from the tribe of Judah. Exodus chapter 31 describes God endowing Betzalel with the divine spirit of skill, ability, and knowledge in every kind of craft. We know that Oholiav, Betzalel's assistant, is simply from the tribe of Dan. Midrash teaches that by having Betzalel, who comes from the tribe of Judah, the largest and most prominent of all 12 tribes, and Oholiav, who comes from the smallest tribe, we understand that every person from every facet of Israelite society were to be involved in the fashioning of the ark. Now, isn't this a model for the way our congregation should function? If the ark then is our temple today, then indeed everyone counts. Everyone has a contribution to make, no matter how big or small, no matter if the person holds a prominent leadership position or simply comes once and offers a good idea or a helping hand. Everyone has a role to play in the ongoing fashioning of our Mishkan, our tabernacle of Temple Bethel. That has been the model for our Zebulun recipients. It's not about who is most visible or public. It's not about who gives the most money. It's not about whose social networks are the most widespread. Instead, it is often about the contributions of quiet, dedicated leadership, usually behind the scenes, that serves the families of our congregation. A second lesson from the portion teaches that Betzalel and Oholiav invited the community to participate in the building of the Mishkan. Moses then called Betzalel and Oholiav and every skilled person whom the Eternal One had endowed with skill, everyone who excelled in ability to undertake the task and carry it out. While the translation indicates that it was people with ability who showed up, the Hebrew suggests something different. Everyone whose hearts stirred him up is how it's more accurately translated. Whose heart stirred him up. The medieval sage Ibn Ezra describes this as someone whose intelligence lifted him above the rest. Clearly, when we think of Marla and Grant, we think of two leaders whose hearts are constantly being stirred and whose intelligence, skill, gentle wisdom, technical ability, guiding words, and more enable them to be lifted above the rest. Grant Perry is a Renaissance man. He's a chef, a musician, a teacher, a craftsman, a builder, intensely curious about almost everything. We call Grant to play in the band, to do the sound for our concerts, to sing in the choir, to help lead the junior choir, to help cook in the kitchen, teach our children in Torah school, create amazing craft activities at camp weekend, and even help fix short circuits on the Zebulun menorah ship. Thank you, Grant, for getting this fixed for tonight. Grant and I host our annual Wine and Dine fundraiser, one of the constant draws of our auctions, where I get to enjoy his food and he gets to enjoy my wine with about 15 other folks. I still think I get the better end of the deal. Thank you very much. He helps build the temple sukkah every year. He built the risers for the choir, and whenever we have a problem we can't solve, we call Grant. He is the epitome of one who works behind the scenes to help to keep everything running and functioning. Many of you know him primarily from his role as guitarist in the Moody Jews. But you need to know that his contributions to temple life extend into so many facets of our congregation. Not only that, he is a mensch above mention, along with his wife Laurel and children Sophia, who's here tonight, and Rachel, who's up in school up in Portland. All extraordinary leaders in their own right. Grant Perry and the Perry family give so much of themselves to our community. And I know that his humility makes it hard for him to listen to all of these accolades. But sorry, Grant, you deserve them all. Marla Schwartz is the dream lay leader and adult learner. She has sat on countless committees and task force. She represents the board of directors on the Bima for so many of our B'nai Mitzvah, sharing such gentle and beautiful words of wisdom and tribute to these young men and women. She has served in numerous capacities on the board of directors, including a 3-year stint as president. When we need someone to lead a new project or do grunt work or clerical work for another project, Marla is the first to raise her hand. Marla is also the ideal adult learner. Having reconnected to her Judaism only within the last 15 years or so, she has made up for lost time by devouring any and all adult learning opportunities that we have presented, and is that regular, familiar, and supportive presence in the classroom that teachers so greatly appreciate. Having spent a career as a high school counselor, she put those skills to work at board meetings and other interactions between people, being that sensible, moderate, and questioning voice that calms people's nerves. Marla is often the first person that a first-time visitor to Temple Bethel meets, and her example sets such a positive tone and remains a model for so many. Marla instituted the annual thank you calls that you receive after completing your annual commitment, to saying thank you for your support of Temple Bethel. And because of that, she has likely shared a one-on-one conversation, even a brief one, with almost all of you. Marla, too, is a mensch above mention. And I know that her sister and brother-in-law and nephews and so many of her friends who are here today, and those who are watching live stream, I hope, are swelling with pride over my Marla, over our Marla at this moment. Together, Grant and Marla are always stirred into action and will carry the baton whenever it is passed on to them, and will pick it up whenever it is dropped. The Zebulun Committee sure chose a great dynamic duo to honor this year. You done good, folks. The final lesson from the portion connects us to the end of the book of Exodus. Once Bezalel and Aholiab completed their work and set everything in place, They set the stage for a divine encounter. God's presence descended upon the Mishkan in a cloud and filled the space with God's glory. The Mishkan presents an image of God being a constant presence in our lives, one who is with us, guarding us, leading us, and inspiring us. God's presence fills Marla and Grant in the holy, sacred, and mitzvah-making work they do day in and day out. As we honor Grant and Marla tonight, and as we conclude the book of Exodus as well, let us be mindful of this lesson shared by Rabbi Benno Jacob, reflecting on the book of Exodus, concluding with God coming down to approve the work of God's people. Benno Jacob teaches, our book, which began in darkness in a time of slavery in Egypt, concludes in the brilliant illumination of God. Glory before the eyes of the entire house of Israel. Or, to twist the words of our patriarch Jacob when he had that famous dream after waking up from a night that was difficult. I imagine Jacob saying instead, God is in this place, and surely we do know it. Amen. As we prepare to honor Grant and Marla, I'd like to invite the president of our congregation, Mark Kaiser, to share a few words.
Thank you, Rabbi. And I have to tell you, as the president of this congregation, this is an evening that makes it all worthwhile. This is a very special honor for me to be thanking these two individuals for all that they do for Temple Bethel and all that they have done over the many, many years. Marla, you, my predecessor as president, my soulmate, my mentor. There's not much I can add to what Rabbi said other than ditto, ditto, and ditto. Marla is one of those people that has, for me, it helps to teach us always that we don't just experience situations through our eyes and through our ears, but we experience them through our heart. And in leading this organization and all the things that she does, she always leads with her heart. So thank you for all of that. And Grant, as Rabbi says, the Renaissance man of Temple Bethel, you are very special. You have a very special family that is so supportive of the temple and so extraordinary in so many ways. And I have to say that, I don't know how many people here know this, but, whenever we do have a problem at Temple Bethel with the building, we always answer that problem with only two words: call Grant. And Grant always responds. So thank you so much for all that you do for Temple Bethel and all the many ways that you do it. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Andy Kaufman now.
When I had the privilege of serving as president of this temple, I always began my remarks to the congregation by speaking about something that at first seemed completely irrelevant. And so, in that tradition, I have an anecdote to share with you. During the middle of January, I spent 5 days in the hospital. While I was there, each morning at 5:30, when I was barely awake, a phlebotomist would come into the room to draw a blood sample. For the first several mornings, the conversation was basically the same. Good morning, I'm here to take a blood sample. Which arm would you like me to use? Thank you, feel better today. But on the last morning, the conversation took a very different turn. Kaufman, the phlebotomist said, are you Jewish? So I opened one of my two bloodshot eyes, looked at him carefully. I wasn't sure what religion he belonged to, but I was reasonably certain he was not a member of the tribe. So, at the risk that my response would lead to an extensive discussion of comparative religion, I said yes. Oh, he said, then you must be a lawyer. Now, as you might imagine, an entire spectrum of possible responses passed quickly through my mind. But I decided that one good stereotype deserved another. So I replied, "How do you know I'm not a doctor?" Now, others may try to categorize and classify us from time to time, but we Jews have no problem categorizing ourselves. We are Orthodox, conservative and Reform, Reconstructionist and Hasidic, Ashkenazic and Sephardic, secular Jews, Messianic Jews, Jews for Jesus, and Jews who are practically atheists. But ultimately, we are all either Jews by birth or Jews by choice. In a sense, though, every member of this temple is a Jew by choice. We choose to worship together in this holy place. We choose to gather together to socialize, to observe the holidays, and to study Torah. We choose to educate our children in the traditions of our faith. We choose, each in our own small way, to perform acts of tikkun olam, to make the world a better place. And some of us, in a much larger way, choose to perform acts that make this temple a better place. It is to recognize those contributions that the Zebulon Award was established. The Zebulon Award is Temple Bethel's highest honor. It is bestowed upon one or more active members based upon significant contributions of time, energy, and leadership to the temple, as well as to the total Jewish community, over a considerable length of time. More particularly, the recipient must have been deeply involved in temple activities during a major portion of the previous 10 years. As the rabbi has pointed out extensively, each of tonight's honorees more than satisfies these requirements. On behalf of the Zebulon Committee, it is my pleasure to formally present the Zebulon Awards this evening to Marla Schwartz and Grant Perry. Both Grant and Marla joined this community in 2002. Grant and his wife Laura were looking for a Hamish community in which to raise their daughters. And as Rabbi pointed out, Marla was looking for a Hamish community in which to discover her own Jewish identity. I'm not going to repeat all the accolades that the rabbi mentioned to Marla and to Grant, but suffice it to say, all that was well known to the Zebulon Committee. And it's for those reasons that we chose to present the awards to them. So it can be said that tonight, we honor both a headliner and a member of the supporting cast. Each has made significant contributions to the life and the well-being of this congregation, usually without seeking any further attention or recognition. Each has clearly done so out of love for the members of this temple, for its professional staff, and for the warm and welcoming feeling of community for which we are famous. They have helped us, mentored us, and in many ways been our role models. Whenever we have called, they have answered. Marla and Grant, with these awards, we express our gratitude and our appreciation. And we recognize you for your leadership, for your friendship, and for your exemplary service. Congratulations.
That's right.
We're worth a few steps.
Turn it so that people can see it.
Exactly, there you go. You spelled your name right, too.
So, the strangest thing happened to me this evening. As people were coming up to me at dinner, they began to remark upon my tie. Raise your hand if you said something to me about my tie. There's like 10 people out there that said something to me about this tie. It's a books on a shelf. And I wore it tonight mostly because it's the tie I wore to Sophie's bat mitzvah. but also because it's the only piece of clothing that I wore to Sophie's bat mitzvah that still fits me. We've been here a while now. So as Andy mentioned, that both Marla and I came here, and I with my family, came here in 2002. If you were here in 2002, could you raise your hand? Yeah. Good, thank you. I won't make like all the blood drawn out. So on a Friday night, like any other Friday night, Laurel and I thought, in 2002, we came here, unannounced, to see what was going on. We were looking for a place that had young families, young children, to bring our children to. And as it happened, the night we came here was the night, I believe, 12 adults read Torah for the first time. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And May 30th? 31st. The back wall was open. It looked like high holidays. There was 1 million people in here, shoulder to shoulder. We walk in on Friday night saying, holy, look at this place. It's alive. It was quite alive that night. Rabbi David Samuel Lee, King of the Jews, was presiding. It was something. It was something to see. And we just walked in on a Friday night. We sat way in the back. And by the end of the night, people are getting a little teary-eyed as their loved ones are reading Torah. Laurel and I are getting teary-eyed as people we don't even know are reading Torah. So, some of you, on May 31st, 2002, we met for the very first time. So, at the end of the evening, talking to Rabbi Lieb and Cantor, they said, hey, in 2 more weeks, it's family service. Come back then. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. So we came back for family service. And Elon had every kid in the congregation parading all over the place. David Lieb was throwing musical instruments at people. Sophie is still rather traumatized by the entire experience. She was just like duck and cover. The man is throwing stuff at me. That was our introduction to Temple Bethel. As amazing as that was, it only got better. So, the thank you for a Zebulon Award is something. But more important, is to thank you for having a place, building a place, making a place that's like this. A home for all of us. Thank you.
Marla, don't sit down.
Spelled correctly. Thank you so much. Oh, the kisses? Kisses. I love kisses. I love the kisses.
Be right with you.
I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. It's hard to think you were talking about me. I'm so grateful to be a recipient of Temple Bethel's Zebulon Award. And I'm even more honored to share this recognition on the bima with our favorite fellow, Grant Perry. You are a Mitch and a generous man beyond words. and thanks for being our friend. I'm particularly grateful to you who are in attendance at our Shabbat service this evening. Some of you have come far, and others came a lesser distance, but you braved the traffic. Please let me take a moment of personal privilege to recognize and share my family outside of Temple Bethel. I want you to stand. My sister Dana, my brother-in-law Sumner, and my 5 nephews. You can sit down. You have not had you've not had too much Shabbos wine. There really are 2 sets of identical twins. So you're seeing straight. It is what it is. I also would like to mention some other very special people, and I'm especially honored to have here from the city of Torrance, our city clerk, Rebecca Poirier, if you'd stand. And former city of Torrance Councilman Don Lee and his beautiful wife, Jean. Thank you. I'm particularly grateful for this evening because it's an opportunity for me to recognize you, my TBE family, who welcomed me with open arms and embraced me with unconditional love 14 years ago. I owe you more than you can possibly know. To borrow a phrase from Proverbs, the soul of man is the candle of God. You all are the candles in my temple life that inspire me to serve our temple family so that together our larger light shines brightly and reflects all that we are as we support one another and provide for the world around us. Quite frankly, I never expected you to notice me except for my awkwardness. Truly, I came here rather uninformed, wanting to learn and needing to heal. I discovered the practice of Jewish values that I have internalized and taken to heart. It has been my intention, and still is, to give of myself without expectations or acknowledgement. And now this amazing award, and so my plans have gone awry. At Shabbat services every week, I listen to Rabbi Chuck tell us from a verse in Torah, "You shall be holy." And I have come to understand that this is our job description, to grow and blossom spiritually, to do good and avoid evil, and to serve and care for others. This mitzvah, to serve our community, it's really the way of Torah that has become so very important to me. Yes, it is an honor to receive this Zebulon Award alongside of you, Grant. It is a greater honor for me to honor all of you and say from my heart, thank you very, very much.
We're going to give you and Grant the blessing. Grant, I'm going to need you up here because we are about to return the Torah and offer you and Marla a blessing. Everyone can remain standing. And I noticed as Marla, as you were introducing some of our elected officials and representatives from the city of Torrance, and Grant, as many of you know, and the Perrys come from Long Beach, it's really a testament to this congregation that there are lots of other synagogues that are closer to their homes where they live. And the fact that you found us and chose us, we feel so grateful that we are the place that you stepped into and that you have never left, and we are so grateful for that, so thank you. On page 374. Yahalelu et Shem Adonai ki nishgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren le'amo tehillah lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Grant and Marla, come close so Cantor Davidson and I can share a blessing for you in front of the ark. And I'd also like you to touch a Torah. I'm going to actually, Grant, you touch this Torah. Marla, you touch this Torah. Because on the mantles, this Torah says love, ahava, love. And this one, shalom. The idea of love and peace that you bring to us and that we live by in this congregation are such beautiful values and such a core part of who we are as a people. So by touching the Torah connected to the holiness that is contained within and the holiness of this congregation, we share these words with you.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's face shine brightly upon you and be so kind and generous to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Amen, amen, amen.
And may God reach out to you, bestowing upon you the gifts of love, of kindness, of commitment, of justice, of learning, of service, and above all, the gift of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Love you, baby.
Et chaim li lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh chadesh yameinu chadesh yameinu kekedem.
So, at the end of this week's Torah portion, I was teaching our little pishers on Sunday that really this Torah portion is the "if you build it, he will come" portion. Because once we built it, God came to dwell within it. And when we built Temple Bethel, we knew that you would come. That you would come to dwell within. And to dwell is exactly what both of you have done. You have made this your home. You have made this the place that you bring your family and share with them. And we're taught that God can't do God's work alone. In fact, we're taught that God is surrounded by 4 archangels. And I think that each and every Zebulon in this community, present company very much included, is so aware that they do not do their work alone, and that they have these angels around them as well. And we're taught that on the right, God has Michael, the one who is like God. On the left, God has Gabriel, the strength and power of God. In front of God is Uriel, always shining light to guide the way. And behind God is always Raphael, healing all that has come before. And all around us when we embrace these angels, when we embrace this life, when we embrace this dwelling place, is Shekhinah, is the abiding presence of God. That light that both of you shine before you when you walk into this place, that healing that you leave behind you whenever you leave, that strength that you bring to all of your leadership, and that godliness that you embody, shows us that if we build it, Shekhinah will come and dwell within. All around us is Shekhinah. All around us is Shekhinah. Mi yemini, Michael, umismoli Gabriel, umilefanai Uriel, umeachorai Raphael, ve'al hoshi Shekhinah, ve'al hoshi Shekhinah. May our right hand bring us closer to our godliness. May your left hand give you strength to face each day. And before us, may your vision light our paths ahead. And behind us, may well-being heal our way. All around us is Shekhinah. All around us is Shekhinah. Now I'm going to ask all of you that if you have experienced the divine presence by being in the presence of either of our Zebulon recipients, then sing out this chorus with me. Because all around us, when they are here, when all of our Zebulon recipients that are here, is Shekhinah. And that is what makes God dwell in this place. Sing with me. All around us is Shekhinah. All around us is Shekhinah. One more time. All around us is Shekhinah. All around us is Shekhinah. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, my Marla, for allowing God to dwell within you and within this place. Mazal tov.
I'd just like to share a few brief announcements before we close the services tonight in this wonderful celebration. First, many thanks to the Zebulon Committee for hosting the Oneg Shabbat tonight. We have a lot of great activities coming up here at Temple Beth El over the next several days and month. Hope to see you at many of those activities. One, our community Passover Seder is on Tuesday, April 11th at 5:45 right here in Al Manuel Hall. The deadline to reserve your place is Monday, April 3rd. So please send your reservation and payment directly to Ria Zaks. Flyers are located in the brochure rack in the lobby. Also, we're excited to premiere a documentary which our own Julie Taus has produced. It's about the modern-day sex trade in Cambodia. And this screening will be this Sunday at 5 p.m. in Al Manuel Hall. There will be child care available. Please see Rabbi Chuck after services if you have any questions. And finally, if you have not made your reservations yet for the final Salon concert, please contact Shoni in the finance office immediately. This last concert with Cantor Davidson and Bob Remstein will be held at the home of Randy and Bruce Ross. The concert is Saturday evening, April 1st, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. Shabbat Shalom.
And it features the music of Alan Sherman, by the way. So what better way to celebrate April Fool's Day than with probably one of the most foolishly talented Jewish satirists that has ever lived. So
I just also, don't let anyone say there's no such thing as a free lunch or a free dinner, because next Friday night, no, this wasn't announced, but we're having the second in a series called Shabbat Kolenu, Shabbat, which we lift our voices. We'll be featuring the music of our own cantor, Steve Richards. And before that, we'll be having a soup and salad dinner to benefit Mazon, a Jewish response to hunger. We've done this program over the last, on and off over the last 10 years or so, where we will provide soup and salad for you, free of charge. Please just RSVP and let us know that you're coming so we can have enough here. In exchange, we just ask you to make a donation to Mazon in the amount of what you would normally spend for your Shabbat dinner. So that's next Friday night. You can talk to Vicky or to Ria or to Barbara Riker, who's here. They're helping to organize it for next week. So I hope we'll see you next Friday night, 6:30 for dinner, 7:30 for services. Our concluding prayers begin on page 586 with Aleinu. I invite you to please stand if you're able.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. Page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So in all that's left of me is love. Give me away. As we prepare to remember those who have died in recent days, the past month, or at this season in years past, when I recite the name of your loved one, I invite you to please stand and remain standing until all the names have been shared. And together, we'll join as one community to comfort and console you in your time of grief as we recite Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. We continue to observe Shaloshim, the first 30 days of remembrance for Barbara Cohen. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yortzeit and the anniversaries of their deaths fell during the week and whom we remember by name tonight. We remember Leanne Abramowitz, Salik Abramowitz, Georgette Belsky, Michael Bierny, Arthur Berman, Menachem Mendel Davidson, William Demoff, Morris Ferdman, Louis Joseph Frisch, Celia Grossman, Vilma Hollage, Arnold Hoffnung, Rosette Hoffnung, Leah Emanuel, Harry Jacob, Isidore Kaplan, Kurt Kent, Louis Lebowitz, Joel Leibowitz, Paula Loveman, Helene Lurie, Ernie New, Gerald Pendrick, David Hanael Prahia, Joseph I. Pollock, Sam Pomerantz, Phyllis Robbins, Leo Rosen, Doris Rowe, Betty Rubin, Ida Pat Skoll, Pauline Spector, Flora Victor, Philip Wallach, Adele Wallach. If you're remembering someone this Shabbat and I neglected to share the name, please stand and share the name aloud. Gloria? Thanks. Howard? David Stanton. Randy? Thank you. Fran? Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Please stand if you are able as we join together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon u'vyomei chon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Amen. Reach out to those next to you as we conclude with Oseh shalom. Shalom bimromav.
shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Mwah.
Good job. You looked over my direction. I went, oh, okay. I think he just wants to just go right into it. right at the end of Kaddish, you looked over in my direction.
I did? Oh.